We're here. I'll turn the camera on as much as I can. I don't know how much I can use the camera in here. Right? What are the rules? Do they let you take pictures of everything? I don't know. Very cool. Hi. Can I take video in here?
Huh?
Can I take video in here?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I don't feel it.
Usually
It's a cool store.
Yeah, it is. It's just unbelievable the way they did it. It's hard to believe it's been here 20 years, too.
Yeah, I was here years ago, and I think it was right after it opened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking for GoPro accessories and sandals. Where would I go?
The sandals are in the very back.
Okay.
So,
on the bottom, on the back?
No, yeah, this floor and then just go back.
Okay.
And it's to the left. When you go back, then just turn left.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I'll give you guys a look. Fishing. Huge fishing section. Then there's an upstairs. I don't know, we'll get a look up there. Boats. Mercury Power. What do they got for outboards? Do they sell outboards right off the ship? Wow. This is cool. This sturgeon right here. Give it brand. Put in the comments, how old do you think that sturgeon is? I gotta guess. They get way bigger than that. Look at this guy. Oh, he's got a chunk taken out of him. Poor guy. He's got owie. His mouth's hanging open. He's just like, I don't care anymore. So these are the ones I had before, and these are actually good sandals. I love these Keens. It's an Oregon company, but they start coming apart right here. The stitching starts coming apart right there, and I don't know if they fixed them or not, but those are my favorite ones. I liked them better than the Merrills that I had. I don't know. I'll have to make up my mind. I'll go upstairs. The guy who sold me the shoes told me that GoPro accessories upstairs. This place is cool, right? Camping area. I don't think I need any camping gear, but they got stuff. Sleeping bags. This climbing wall is cool. Looks like they took off all the bottom holders so people couldn't climb it. I'm sure people come in here and try. You can still climb it, for sure. Big fish. Those are hunting cameras. If you guys are looking for hunting supplies, this is what they got. Not much, really. If you're a hunter, you know what I'm talking about. That's it. Upstairs, it's funny how you remember things a certain way. And this place is a little smaller actually than I remember. I thought it was bigger. But that's it. And upstairs, got most everything. Most general items. Just look. Check out these shoes. I thought they were porcelain, but they're plastic. Man, they were busy in there. There was like, I wasn't gonna try and take anybody's time to interview anybody. That would have been a waste of time. Yeah. I don't think they have any problem with, I bet you they're still probably down on selling stuff, but today's a Friday, so there's people coming into town, people leaving town, getting ready to go places, so it's hard to kind of judge, you know, how this business is doing by today, but I'm sure they're still doing all right. Yeah. They got a pretty good selection of kayaks. I've heard of that one. I got rid of all my kayaks. I never got the exact one that I wanted. It doesn't look like they got what I want either. But, you know, don't have to have one. There's always some place you can usually rent one. That's it for Cabela's, guys. See you at Red Rock. This place has always been super cool. I love the geology here. This is the front side, and I think most of the trails are on the back side up on top. Last time I was here, there was people rock climbing on this area. I don't know if it was a temporary thing or what. Oh, that trail goes down there. See if I can zoom in. Turtle Head Peak Trail. Let's do that one. It's windy. It's 93 degrees outside, but it's not bad. The rocks here are crazy. It's all sandstone, I think. at this plant. Made it. It's my camera turned off because it started getting hot. Met some people. There they go. They're from Chicago. Sat down, had a really good conversation. This is fun. You guys probably can't see it. I don't know if I can zoom in, but that's, you're looking at the strip right there. So this trail goes all the way to the top of these hills, and you know, that's the lower part where, you know, where the parking lot is down there. But super cool hiking trail. If you guys are ever in Vegas, do it. It's a blast. I'm gonna turn this thing off though, because it's gonna get too hot. It blew up on me. You guys saw that, and I think it's because the camera is turned towards my head, so it gets the sun, and then it gets too hot. So yeah, catch you guys in the car. Bye. Screw it, we'll see if we can get how long this thing will last. See if it'll make it back down. I didn't bring the extra battery, so we'll see. See how long my camera lasts.
Oh.
See if I can make it all the way to the bottom.
I hope you do.
I think it overheated somewhere up here.
Yeah.
It didn't even make it this far.
Our phones are overheating just in one stop.
Yeah.
They were just
Actually, speaking of that, I need to make sure I put mine back in my backpack. Yeah, I did. Okay.
better now than later.
Yeah. A lot easier to hike back up there.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Unfortunately, the wind drowns out most of this guy's side of the conversation that we had heading down the hill. Super smart guy that worked for AT&T, a hardware engineer, and he was telling me just a lot of interesting things that AT&T is doing along with the other phone carriers. You know, they're getting away from cell towers, and they're, you know, investing in other technology to stay ahead of, you just can't put enough cell towers up, and there's a lot of areas that just don't benefit from it. I mean, I see it in this trip when we're driving down here. But one really interesting thing that I didn't get on video is, you know, we had a conversation when we went to the top, and he admitted that, you know, he's on a similar journey that I am. He's shortened his days considerably, and he's only working 7 hours a day, you know, 4 days a week. And he was working 14 hours a day, and he said the stress and you know, what it was doing to his body and his mind was just not healthy. So, you know, they're finally old enough, and I'm in a similar situation where our kids are old enough to start taking care of themselves, where they can finally get out and start doing things together. And so it was just really refreshing, and it was a privilege to meet these guys on this trail and spend some time with somebody that was kind of, you know, in a similar place. You know, nothing happens by chance, right? But I'll just let the video continue to play, and so you might be able to pick up, you know, as much of this conversation as possible. But it was just really a privilege to meet these guys.
Which company did you say you work for?
AT&T.
Oh, AT&T, that's right.
America's Tubs and Toilets.
America's Tubs and Toilets.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
I used to work for Ameritech until SBC bought them out. Then I went to SBC.
Oh, okay.
And then we bought AT&T.
It seems like a lot of the carriers have been combining towers to, like, so everybody gets coverage, because obviously they lose revenue if somebody's got more.
So They're going more and more away from towers.
Okay.
They're going towards what's called small cell.
Okay.
Small cells was on your power pole, street lamp post. Looks like a gray bucket or a brown bucket at the top.
Oh, okay.
That's 5G. That's how they're getting that. They still use cell towers. The problem is you can't get enough of them in.
Right.
The way 5G works. That's what I do for AT&T.
Someone told me that 5G is such a, well, I mean, obviously it's 5 gigahertz instead of 2.4, so,
Yeah.
or 4 gigahertz. So it's harder to pass through
Doesn't-
materials.
Like the old network.
Yeah. It's a wider, it's like AM radio, right? That's why AM works everywhere, because it's a long longitude wavelength.
Yep. Because everybody needs speed. Everything's on fiber now.
But there's so much data, you got to have wavelengths for data.
Yeah.
Number of times.
So I'm splitting light 64 times now,
Okay.
or over 64 different frequencies.
So are you guys, what kind of crew do you work on? Do you kind of set parameters for hardware engineers?
That's me.
Okay, you're the hardware engineer?
I'm the hardware engineer.
Okay.
We, as a company, we set parameters, we set preference to certain OEMs, and of course it has to get approved.
Right.
So right now we're moving how we split the light, that DWDM network.
Okay.
We've taken it to IP, and now we're going from a 400 gig base network platform to an 800, which I think Sienna is already in the approval process. Will be, was it 1.6? No. Yeah, 1.6 terabyte.
Okay. So twice the size of 800 gig. Well, fiber's fantastic because you've got such a huge spectrum of different frequencies of light that you can use.
100%.
So, I mean, that's why everything's in fiber. Well, until they can figure out quantum, right? But then you're talking about wireless technology that we just don't have yet. I'm in an area, we don't have fiber internet where I'm at yet. I'm sure Chicago's got quite a bit. Oh, are they?
Every house.
How far out from the city does it go? Is it all over Illinois or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Any new subdivision build, they will not put copper in the ground.
Okay. Unless it's for electrical, right? Obviously.
ComEd could do it. Comcast or another provider wants to do it. We won't. Fiber's cheaper to maintain. Overall, longevity is better.
Well, there's no heat. The heat kills it, right? Heat and connections, you know, when it comes to...
It's just a sealed product. You always have to keep it pressurized. If you lose pressure, put moisture in.
Yeah, that's what I mean, is any heat that's created in the connection, any kind of spark, it just self-destructs.
Yes. So we actually have hair dryers, big old compressors.
Right.
Back in my data centers, we pump air into all the buried underground cables.
Anything that's got Cat 6 or Ethernet in it.
But there's actually, we have groups right now, their sole job is to pull copper out of the ground.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
Get rid of it, yeah.
Well, if they've already replaced it, there's no reason to have it there.
And then since they originally were abandoning it, then all of a sudden came out that some of the joints were lead coated.
Okay.
So then based on them being lead coated, EPA says you gotta pull it out. It's all gotta come out.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of that is kind of BS, just because they're just thinking of the plastics.
Yeah.
But so much research has been done. I mean, I've got family that grew up in northern Idaho, and you know, back in the 30s, actually ever since the turn of the century, they were just dumping oil in the ground when they changed oil. But they found that the mycelium network just eats it up. It doesn't, it's just food for,
Nature will take care of itself.
Yeah.
If you allow it.
yeah, I mean, it's not, it only stays longer in really dry areas where there's not mycelium to cook it.
Okay.
Like places like this where there's less fungus, it might stay in the ground longer, but it's still not going to hurt anything long term. You know, you might get a little bit into the groundwater, but right.
Love it. It's truly a piece of technology.
Yeah.
All it is. But it ain't no more environmentally friendly than an internal combustible engine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those things are dirty as hell. We all drive them. I mean, even the lithium batteries you got aren't any better.
No, fuck no. No.
You know, it's like, well, you can trade one for another, but you're not really trading much.
You sell your soul for, you know, rare precious metal versus oil in the ground.
Yeah, farming lithium isn't exactly an ecology-friendly thing.
Let's see, there's fracking, and then there's farming lithium.
Right.
At least you know that.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Do you ever, do you have Paramount Plus or Paramount?
I don't think I do.
Landman. You get somebody that actually has it,
Uh-huh.
watch it. It's very,
What's the name of the show?
it's called Landman.
Landman?
It's about a guy that runs oil fields.
Oh, okay.
And he talks in one of the episodes, he talks about exactly that, how oil's the best substance out there. People want to demonize it, but what they don't realize is the replacement is far worse.
Right. I think there is a possible replacement. It's just that if it doesn't put money in someone's pocket, then they don't want it. I love the famous Chase Morgan quote, you know, that supposedly when, you know, there's rumor that Tesla had made a wireless car that was working, you know, that he was just pulling power, he was just pulling off the Earth's electromagnetic field
Okay.
and driving a car, and he had figured out how to, you know, he was going to build that big tower to transmit electricity. And he's like, and Chase Morgan's like, well, if I can't put a meter on it, I don't want you.
Why? You can't make money.
Yeah. Controlling information and energy. That's it.
Build my workout again. I gotta figure this watch out.
Is it an Apple Watch?
Yeah. I had it, I stopped using it.
I've never had one.
Because of the whole being connected thing, and then I started diving, so I went out and bought myself a dive watch for a computer.
Uh-huh.
At the time, it had a lot more value to me because it wasn't connected to my phone, and it supported me when I was underwater.
Yeah. How deep will it go?
The Garmin,
Yeah.
300 plus meters.
Oh, wow. I think I got to put a case on this thing for it to go past like 30.
Oh, the GoPro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've taken mine down to 96 feet in a case.
Is it rated for that?
The cases.
Oh, well, I just,
In the case, obviously the.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the case was good for 120 meters, I think.
Nice. I'll have to go look for a case. I was looking for accessories, and a bunch of the like Walmart, Target, all those places, they don't carry accessories for these things anymore because people weren't buying them as much.
Amazon's killed it.
Yeah, Amazon is, well, the thing I hate about Amazon is if something doesn't work, the sending back process can be difficult sometimes, especially if it's a third party seller.
Okay.
Whereas, especially for like electronic stuff, I'd rather just go to Best Buy.
Oh yeah.
Because I can go anywhere and they'll just take it back. You know, if
100%.
yeah. But I mean, there's certain things that are easier, but for a lot of things, I would rather support local.
I agree.
It just makes more sense, right? It's like, I don't know. Is AT&T bigger than Verizon?
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought. Well, they're the oldest phone company, right?
Yeah. We support everybody with the network we have.
I knew Verizon grew really big there at one point, but I don't think nobody's ever overtaken AT&T, right?
No. As much as the government tried, it's still a monopoly.
Right. They probably threatened the monopoly thing a couple times.
Oh no, they made us break up. They made us divest, but you know, again.
What year was that?
Oh shit, that goes back 30 plus years.
Oh. Like in the 90s?
It went from AT&T to Ameritech, Bell South, and the other branches. Illinois Bell, Michigan Bell, Wisconsin Bell.